Good evening. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and this evening we'll be playing Rogue versus Sabretooth on Expert difficulty, playing a Leadership Rogue deck featuring Web Warriors, which was an idea that I saw on Marvel Card Database, which I thought was interesting. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes. I find it disappointing that you can't use Rogue to her full potential in solo play, but that doesn't mean there's no fun to be had here. So, what do we want to keep here? We don't have any Web Warriors. I'll draw two more. I don't want to keep superpower adaptation either. We'll draw three. Okay. And we'll go ahead and flip. We'll attach touch to Sabretooth. And we'll get out Ironheart. Remove 3 threat and confuse an enemy. That seems pretty good. Let's do that. Keep energy transfer, use Southern Cross. 3 threat, add a confuse. And then we'll thwart for 2 and move into phase 2 right away. And we'll remove the toughness from Sabretooth. And then go ahead and draw 3. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, and we're going to use Bulletproof Bell, I think, along with going Rogue. So we prevent all damage from the attack and gain a tough status card. Sabretooth gets a healing card, and then we get 2 encounter cards revealed. Metamorphic Mayhem and Gang Up. So Sabretooth will attack Ironheart this time. And get another healing card. So for the player phase, what do we want to do here? There's not a lot we can do. We can go thwart for 2, use energy transfer. Touched would become unattached and then reattached. So we'll energy transfer, deal 2 damage. No damage to heal, but we can ready up. And then we'll thwart and get rid of Metamorphic Mayhem. No shape-shifting cards in the discard pile, I don't think. Oh, there is. Yeah, actually I don't want to defeat this if there's a shape-shifting card there. We'll wait. That's a pretty nasty shape-shifting card, so we'll just wait on that. Instead we'll use Rogue to attack for 2. And we'll draw 5. Okay, so I got Make the Call, so I'll be able to get a Web Warrior into play. That I can then use Touched on if I need to, in order to get out something like Web of Life and Destiny or other Web Warrior cards. For now, let's go. Oh, it's the enemy's turn. Here we go. 1 threat, 1 attack. Do I want to have Rogue defend? No, she's got toughness. Remove tough, and then 1 heal for 1. And 1 encounter card for, okay, medical emergency. So what do I want to do here? Get our rapid response. That's probably fine. Gonna thwart. And then energy transfer. 2 damage, ready rogue. Get rid of medical emergency. And then draw 5. Adam Warlock is in here so that I can use summoning spell. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. I think we'll let Robert Kelly tank it. He's got a lot of health right now. 5, 6 damage, ouch. And then 1 heal for 0. 1 encounter card, which is Unrelenting Savage. Sabretooth attacks you. Okay, well, we'll have to defend this one. 1, 2, and he gets his Animal Ferocity, so no damage. He does heal for 2. What do I want to do here? Gambit is very good. Rogue's Jacket is very good. Southern Cross is good. So we could go like 1, 2, 3 for Southern Cross. Deal 6 damage and a stun. And then draw 4. Here's Web of Life and Destiny. I don't have a make the call in order to get a Web Warrior into play. So 1 threat, remove stun. And 1 encounter card. I think he still gets a heal. 2. The encounter card will be Feral Rage. That's going to be a problem. That's a nasty card. Well, go 1, 2, 3 for Gambit. Thwart, get rid of Feral Rage. If I do that though, when he activates, he's going to kill Robert Kelly. So let's just attack. Use up the 3 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attack for 2. Get rid of Superpower Adaptation and we'll draw 4. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth. We'll use Bulletproof Bell. Prevent all damage, gain a tough. Discard 1 random card. And then Sabretooth gets a heal for 1 and an encounter card. Deadly Touch. If touch is not attached to a friendly character, plays 2 threat. That's a big deal because to get rid of that threat, we have to get rid of Feral Rage, which is going to be a problem. So we may have to race. For the hero turn, we can just go attack, push him into phase 3. Attack. Remove toughness, and then draw 3. He has Stalwart, so that should remove his Confused. Well, the Web Warriors are proving more difficult to play than I imagined. Though, if I had held on to make the call, it would have been a lot easier. So, probably that's a bad play by me. We got 1 threat incoming, we got 1 attack incoming. And 1 heal card, and 1 encounter card, which will be Mutant Terrorists. So that's going to bring the Brotherhood into play. So can I deal 18 damage this round? No. I could play Kalu. I could look through the top 5 cards for an event. There's 2 of my make the calls. And then I can play Web of Life and Destiny and Spider-Man for summoning spell. Oh wait, when I looked for an event, I need to check what allies are in there. White Tiger, okay. Can play summoning spell if we use touched on Kalu to gain Mystic. Discard until we find an ally. White Tiger. Put it into play. It's not a very good play though, because in order to draw cards you have to play White Tiger from your hand. This is irrelevant though because we've only got 5 damage. And that isn't going to be enough. I probably missed some retaliate damage that I forgot about while Touch was attached to Sabretooth. But that wouldn't have been enough to finish him off. Anyway, let's get reset and we'll try this scenario again. Okay, we're back. So definitely learned that I need to hold on to make the call in order to make this deck function. So I'll be discarding those cards. Well, I could still play Spider-Man. You don't have to be a web warrior to play him. So I probably should do that, right? We'll just go... I mean, I definitely should do that. 1, 2, 3. 2 wild resources. And a lightning to get out Spider-Man. And then we'll flip, we'll attach touch to the villain. We'll go thwart and thwart. And then we'll discard Miles Morales and then we'll draw 4. One threat, 2 damage, 1 attack from Sabretooth on Rogue. We'll just face tank that. 5 damage, ouch. Is he in play right now? Treat his text box as if it were blank. Okay. Yeah, so 5 damage and 1 retaliate. We still deal a healing card. And then 1 encounter card. Which will be 2 more encounter cards. Deadly Touch, that's going to be 2 threat. And that's a blank surge, there's no minions to attach to. Same thing. And there's Blob. Okay. So last round I actually made a mistake. I don't know why I did this except that it's inexperience with Rogue. If I'd put touched on Spider-Man, then I would have gained Web Warrior and I could have readied when he thwarted. So anyway, at the beginning of the player phase, touched will come back. All I would have lost is 1 retaliate damage, and that's fine. So we'll get touched on Spider-Man. We'll get out Rapid Response. We'll get out Kalu. Look at the top 5 cards for an event. Southern Cross. Then we'll go 2 damage, 2 damage, ready up Rogue, 2 damage, 1 thwart. And we're into phase 3, or phase 2. And then we'll go ahead and draw 4. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Sabretooth, which will go on Spider-Man. Attach this to Sabretooth. So he will die and we'll bring him back with rapid response. And then we got 2 encounter cards coming. Actually, this is Sabretooth's healing card, which is for 2. And then 2 encounter cards. The villain attacks you, that will go on Clue. Gets another healing card. Discard 1 random card. Now that's not a boost card, it's a healing card. And then Infiltration, which surges into Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support. There aren't any. Well, touched can be discarded. It's not permanent. It just gets. Actually, technically, it should be in the discard pile already with Peter Parker, so that should be a blank surge. Into Pyro. So we'll find touched at the beginning of the player phase. We'll put it on Peter Parker. We'll go 1, 2, 3 for Southern Cross. Deal 8 damage, but no stun unless I put touched on Sabretooth. I think that's worth it. So instead of Peter Parker, we'll put it on Sabretooth. And we'll get 6 damage and a stun. So Rogue won't be able to ready after Spider-Man attacks, but that's okay. And we'll draw 4. One threat, remove stun, deal 1 healing card, and then we got 1 encounter card, which is Shadow of the Past. Brings Mystique into play. 1 defeated, okay. Tough, villainous. After Mystique engages you, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for a copy of the Misled Treachery. Wait, I don't understand. Don't all of those go into the deck anyway? Is that text just in case she comes up again? Oh, shuffle it into your deck. Oh, okay. I got it. Got it, got it. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Search its owner's discard pile for an event that belongs to the same classification. I wish I had a leadership event for that. There aren't any basic events in the deck. I can Southern Cross again. When defeated, search for Misled and shuffle it into your deck. I can't deal with Mystique right now. Can deal with Mystique's manipulations. We can go 1, 2, 3 for Southern Cross. Put touched on the villain and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add a stun. Get rid of that and then draw 4. So 1 threat, remove stun, 1 heal for 2. 1 attack by Mystique. She gets a boost card. Exhaust, 2 damage. And 1 encounter card. Metamorphic Mayhem. Okay, well, I can get touched on Spider-Man and play Web of Life and Destiny. Need to hang on to Bulletproof Bell, I think. So I'm a bit starved for resources. Maybe I can't hang on to Bulletproof Bell. Spider-Man's gonna tank the attack. Let's get Adam Warlock out. After he attacks or thwarts, discard 1 card at random from your hand. I don't have any cards in my hand. We'll just go ahead and attack for 1, and attack for 2, and draw 5. And there's 2 copies of Misled. Plays 2 threat on the main scheme. Plays 2 threat on the main scheme. And then 1 threat, and then an attack, which will go on Peter Parker. An attack with a boost, which will go on Rogue with Bulletproof Bell. No, never mind. Reverse that. The attack from Sabretooth should go on Rogue with Bulletproof Bell, and the attack from Mystique. Actually, does it matter? Yeah, it matters because actually I can't do that at all because Touched was on Peter Parker, so never mind. We'll just take the 2 damage, or actually it's 1 plus a boost card of 2, so it's 3 damage. Plus 1, actually that would kill Rogue. Okay, so the issue that we're running into here with Rogue is resources. She doesn't have any resource generation. Except for... Does she have any resource generation at all? No. Yeah, she doesn't have any resource generation whatsoever, which is going to put her on the weaker end of heroes. And her only saving grace really is Bulletproof Bell. But you have to put it on touched on the villain in order for that to be good. And if you're putting touched on the villain, then you can't do fun things like give her Web Warrior trade or Mystic trade or things like that. There is some fun to be had here, but not on higher difficulties. She's not going to manage those very well at all, due to her inability to generate any kind of resources with her kit. Her events are pretty strong, and her touched ability is fun, though limited in its versatility in solo play because you can't use the stalwart part of it. If you were in multiplayer, the ability to use stalwart would help a little bit because you could draw cards, kind of reduce the resource cost of a couple of the events. But yeah, Rogue is pretty weak in solo, and I'd say pretty weak overall. And the reason is that her kit has no resource generation whatsoever. And the only good, the best card in her kit is Bulletproof Bell. But on turns when she doesn't have that, she's just going to get whittled down. She's not going to be bringing enough power to bear to down very many difficult villains due to her lack of resources. A bit disappointing in her design, being designed so that you actually can't use some of her functionality in solo play. I am not a fan of that. So it's hard to recommend picking up this hero. unless you are getting her for fun thematic reasons for a multiplayer game. So, thank you for watching.